Okay, today I'm going to try to show you how to replace the transmission gear shifter indicator light thing so you can actually see what gear you're shifting into in dark conditions. It's pretty straightforward even though it looks like a mess right now, so I'll show you basically what we have to do. First you want to disconnect the negative battery cable so you actually don't short anything out and mess anything up even further. Because you will be disconnecting electrical parts. First thing you want to do though is actually remove your center console, and this is pretty easy. What you want to do is find two screws up in the front cup holders. There's your center transmission console area, and then you have two more screws right here in the cup holder. You actually want to pop out the window control, the rear window control. How you do that is you stick a screwdriver in the bottom first, pop it out, and then stick a screwdriver in the top, and then pop that out so you can actually easily remove it. And then it's just two simple clips. You can see right here, these two simple clips, you just push in right there and pop them out. And they're color coded, one's gray, one's black, so can't mess that up. And you want to make sure your e-brake is pulled all the way up as far as it can go so you can actually get that out. And I actually was not able to remove the center console until I moved the seats back all the way like you see here with the armrests all the way up, and then you can actually just wiggle it out and get it out just like that. So once you pull that out, you want to go over to your transmission gear shifter, and it's gonna look sort of like that, and you're gonna look for four torque screws. Let's see if I can get it to show up. There we go. So there's going to be one right there, and then same on the opposite sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you actually want to do is, well, once you loosen those, you won't be able to actually pull this up far enough. So what you're going to have to unfortunately do is remove the gear shifter, which is actually pretty easy. For me, it just took an Allen wrench, because it mounts on like that. This is stock, by the way. I don't know if it's an aftermarket gear shifter or a manual, I'm not exactly sure, but if it's a manual, you actually won't have this problem, because I just realized you wouldn't have this. So there's a little Allen bolt right in there, which looks like this, which looks like that, and you just stick a little Allen wrench in there and unscrew it, and then you should be able to just wiggle it off. So then you have your transmission shifter all like this, and it's going to be loose, so I can actually just pull it off if I need to. And this is a good opportunity to clean inside here and actually get any of that gunk out, or oil up parts such as your e-brake, get gears and whatnot, and make sure all your wire connections are secure. So once this is on, you actually won't be able to pull it off yet, because the only thing that's going to be holding this down is actually the light bulb in here that you need to change. So I'll show you how to get to the light bulb. So there's just going to be this black wire on the driver's side. Well, actually I don't know if it'll be black in your case, but there's going to be this wire, and it's going to be going right in here into this white part. And I tried to separate this white part from the actual transmission shifter indicator, and I was not able to do that. So I didn't want to force anything, because plastic gets brittle, and over many years it cracks and breaks, and I don't actually want to break any plastic, because that's a worst case scenario. So what I did was I just wiggled this, fits in there like that, just like that. So I was wiggling this until it took quite a bit of wiggling around, but eventually I got it to pop out like that. And right there is that's going to be your transmission gear selector indicator light. And in my case, I was lucky and the bulb is actually burned out. And if it's not burned out, then that probably indicates that a fuse has blown or something, which means you did all this work for nothing, which isn't a big deal, because then it's all just reversed and you put it all back together. But it's important to actually make sure that the bulb is actually blown and it's not a fuse. And one more side note I just realized as I'm showing you this, because then you just go to AutoZone, find a new bulb, replace that, shove it back in like that, make sure it's all secure, screw everything down, and then just reverse the steps as I mentioned. But when you're trying to remove that center console, you want to make sure that you actually remove the cigarette lighter cord and connections, so you can actually fit everything together securely and not have this hanging on. So when you're pulling it, you don't want to actually rip this out. So make sure to disconnect that, because if you don't, you will regret it, because then you will not have a cigarette lighter anymore. So that's essentially it. So once you replace the bulb, you just want to put your gear shifter knob back on. Secure these down with the Torx screws, and then same as I mentioned earlier, you just want to pop all that back on. So this video is getting a bit long, but that should be about it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or whatever, because I'll probably get back to you. And that's about it. So yeah, good luck with replacing your transmission gear selector bulb, because it's actually not as bad as you think it would be.